Welcome to 2023, ladies and gentlemen. Graham Home, aka Australia's original money mentor. Now, to kick off this year, we've got a very special guest here, and we're actually going to jump between a bit of money and a bit of funny and a bit of health and fitness. So, welcome, Glenn.
Great to be here, Graham.
Pleasure, mate. Pleasure. Been looking forward to this for a while. Now, for those of you who don't know, Glenn actually has been a client now since probably, 2020, 2021?
2021. January 2021, we found the Infinity Group.
Okay. And how did you find us? Were you struggling financially? Were you doing some personal development? What was happening?
So prior to finding the Infinity family, we had our primary place of residence.
Okay.
So we had that going and we had no real budget. We had nothing really in place. Our finances were kind of all over the show. I thought I was the guru in the stock market. I thought I was the next Warren Buffett.
Head of the barbecue mafia, the stock market mafia.
Yeah. So
okay.
We had
good.
We had our primary place of residence before finding you guys, and then just sitting in on the masterclass was just so empowering for me, and just really coming from the educational side of things that you shared, just really was so empowering.
Did you guys do it together?
Erin and I, my wife, Erin and I.
So happily married for everyone at home. So to give everyone a quick Glenn and Erin story before we jump into everything. So happily married. How old are you guys?
Yeah, so I'm 26. My wife's 30.
Oh,
30.
Toy boy.
Yeah.
Go, Erin. Yeah, well done. Okay. 26 and 30, yep.
Yeah. So I'm an automotive electrician by trade. So I did my apprenticeship, left school, finished high school. 17, did my apprenticeship as an automotive electrician, entered the mining industry at 22 years old.
Yeah.
And then realized that the mining industry wasn't for me, wasn't who I wanted to be. And then
an interesting life choice for people. Good money, but they tend to spend it as quick as they earn it.
Yeah, that's right. So I found that out early, and then I was doing forklifting, pickpacking for a little bit in between, and now I've found the Infinity family.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to give let's start. So the reason we're doing this podcast today, guys, is Glenn was one of the winners for 60 Strong. Now, if you don't know what 60 Strong is, it's a program we created. It's a bit softer than 75 Hard, but it's a good starting point for people. And it encompasses a financial well-being aspect, as well as some health, fitness, mental toughness, personal development. It's a program that Rebecca and I on the team created for the Infinity family initially. And Glenn was one of the winners of that. So we're going to come back to that in a second to give everyone an idea. And we'll put the pictures up in the show notes as well. And I'll get Maddie to edit some pictures. Actually, Maddie, I will at this point get you to edit in this picture on screen now for everybody of Glenn. And you can see here in 60 days, holy hell, mate, put a shirt on for crying out loud. You're embarrassing me. Mate, you're ripped.
Mate, yeah.
What weight did you start at?
I started at 83 kgs. And then I got down to 78 kilos after the end of the 60 days.
83 down. So about only 5 kg, but that is just, mate, lean muscle.
Yeah.
So lots of carbs. So we'll come back to that actually in a sec. So we'll come back to the 60 Strong component because that's what we got Glenn on here. But chatting to Glenn, it's a little bit interesting. I want you to stay tuned for the true loyal Infinity cult like Infinity family followers, because we're chatting here today because Glenn's actually here at work today.
Yeah.
So while I've been away on my first break and overseas holiday in the last couple of years, Glenn's actually started with Infinity and started to the point where he's driving an hour and a half each way each day to come to work here to the Robina office. He's really stuck to his guns, and we're sitting down talking today about their financial results in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So, Matt, I want to start with that. So, guys, you can see on screen, Glenn, so you got the family home, right?
Yes.
And that's in Albany Creek, so up North Brizzy way, right?
North Brizzy.
Okay. And that's worth how much?
Roughly 750 to 800.
Okay, 750 to 800. Now, when you joined the Infinity family, when was that? It was early?
So early 2021.
Early 2021?
We signed the contract in late 2018 for a house and land package.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, and then waited for the land to get registered, built the home. Okay,
moved in just before COVID 2020, so Easter 2020 we moved in.
Just as COVID really started kicking in. Not so much in Queensland, but everywhere else. Okay, so smart decision as a young couple. So a couple of years back, so you would have been 24, 24, 26?
Yeah, 24.
24, okay, 24 and 28, 27, okay. And that home, how much did you owe on that when you started this journey a couple of years ago?
We had $380,000.
Actually, it's like your 2-year anniversary.
It is our 2-year anniversary.
So it's like we should have had no, 75 hard, 60 strong, no drinks, water. So it's like literally January now. So it's 2-year anniversary from your first masterclass, and you owed how much?
$380,000.
Okay, so write this down if you're playing along at home. Pop it on the screen. $380,000 on the home in Albany Creek. How much bad debt do you have today?
We have $137,000 of bad debt.
137. So 380 down to 137. That's a big jump. Like 240 plus grand. Mate, how does that feel?
Mate, I can't
explain it, right? So
it's everything.
And that's the response people sitting at home, and if they're not part of the Infinity family going, nah, this is bullshit, it's verbal diarrhea, all the critics you see me beat up on the events. But mate, it is hard to put into words. Like 240 plus grand. That's a big number in 2 years. So you're talking 100 plus grand. Now here's the interesting thing. What were you and Aaron earning?
We are on very basic income, $70,000 gross, give or take, and then Aaron's about 75K.
So 70, 75, like 140, 145 before tax?
Yeah.
Okay. So you wouldn't say that they're not terrible incomes, but they're not high income earners. Everyday family, young couple, okay, bought your first home. Did well. Obviously, you bought it for a lot less than it's worth now, so you've made money there as well. Mate, how the hell did you clear over 100 grand a year off your debt?
Following Infinity, following the process that's put in front of us.
So tell the listeners at home, maybe their families said, go check out this podcast or YouTube. Yep. I don't believe it. It's bullshit, right? Now, your statements are the proof, which we could show.
Yeah.
So what specific steps did you take that once you did the masterclass and we restructured and refinanced, what were the specific things that you changed in your life to go, right, we're going to do this and what was critical, do you think, in the success?
We really tracked our spending more than what we were doing. That was the number one thing, tracking where our money was actually going. So we were getting our income coming in. We had wrong foot investing, basically. Okay. We had all these buckets set up. We had all these splurge accounts. We had a mortgage. And we had all these different bank accounts. So we were getting pay going into everywhere. Clusterfuck.
Clusterfuck. Were you spenders or savers?
I would say I was a spender. I had a racehorse at the time.
Really?
Pre-Infinity too.
Jeez.
So that got cut out of the.
Yeah, I would have scrapped the mule pretty quick.
But Aaron's always been relatively good with the budgeting side of things, but just not really the structure was never there. So implementing the structure.
So bills were always paid, things were always covered. It
was okay.
But living comfortably.
Yeah, it was okay.
Okay. So
we knew that there was more.
So you started tracking everything. What other measures did you put in place? Did you get stricter on things? Did you look for better? Like what?
So we actually set up our food, fuel and fun for those listening. It's our budget, food, fuel and fun budget that Infinity have implemented for us.
Yep.
And we initially, prior to doing our expenses, we had $450 a week as our food, fuel and fun.
Okay. And this is just for the two of you?
Doing our onboarding, with the two of us, doing our onboarding with the lovely Sage Graham.
Yeah.
We got our food, fuel and fun down to $290 a week.
Well done, Sagey, if you're listening.
Working closely with our money coach, Malia, we stuck to that $290 a week.
Wow.
We did not go outside of budget for that first year.
Well, props to Malia and Sage. We'll have to have a chat to them offline. But and people go, $290, what a load of crap. But you got to put petrol in the car maybe. You got to eat. And unless there's a birthday, most of the time, if you're practical, you can really get ahead. Now, some people go, no, I'm not living on $300 a week. Fuck that. Well, cool. Fuck you too. If you want to get ahead, you're going to have to do something that other people aren't prepared. Correct.
Yeah. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it as well.
Correct.
Being in Southeast Queensland as well is kind of a big help.
Well, it has been a bit cheaper to live until recently. All the Melbourneites and the Sydney, it's been a bit interesting. So, okay, so we've only got 137 grand of debt right now. Now, you had the home when you met us. It's gone up in value. Yep. You've smashed the debt down. what else have you achieved? How many investment properties have you been able to pick up in the last 2 years? Any?
So we've purchased three.
Three.
So
you're on 70 grand and 75 grand, young couple, first home, had a decent mortgage, only 400 grand, only owe 137 now in 2 years, and have 3 extra properties, 4 in total.
Yeah.
I don't fucking believe this. Not possible. All of you at home, what look at right? Not possible. So Glenn and Aaron have
living proof.
Living proof, right? Now you're working here because you're obsessed with it.
I am.
It becomes it's part of your DNA. You get addicted, right?
Absolutely.
So let's talk about the portfolio. So the first property, Northern Gold Coast. So you guys live in Brizzy. You didn't want to look in a state straight away, but we looked at a multi-housing property with a good yield in Southeast Queensland, which was Pimpamar area, so Northern Gold Coast. How much was that first investment property?
We purchased that for $620,000.
Okay, and that's a couple of years ago now, 2 years ago?
A couple of years ago.
What's that just been valued at by a bank conservatively?
We have had it valued 3 months ago to get a bank valuation of $900,000.
900. Okay. So just a cheeky $380,000, 280, sorry. Yeah, cheeky $280,000 profit. So literally that one transaction we could sell, pay out the balance of your mortgage in full, pay capital gains tax, you'd have no debt on the home, and off we go, and we could do more. Yep. We won't do that, but we'll hang on for a little bit longer. So that's number one. So we've made a quick 280, nearly 300 grand there conservatively. So that property's now worth 900.
Mm-hmm.
And what do we owe there? We only owe about 600 on it. So we borrowed all of the purchase pretty much using the equity in the home. So we've got a couple of $100,000 equity there. We've then got another property settling this week. So you had an apartment off the plan.
Yes, ACT.
ACT Canberra. So Capital Territories actually performed very well through COVID. Obviously a lot of government stimulus, government departments. So that one is about $500,000.
Yeah, that's right. Yep, $500,000. Yep.
And then you've got a third one. You've put a deposit down on the equity you guys have worked very hard to create.
That's the one we're most proud of.
Okay, and where's that one?
That's in Broadbeach on Gold Coast.
Okay, and it's literally like just across the road from the Jewel development there on the beach?
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Okay.
Walking distance to the beach. Yep, Jewel, the Langham.
Okay, so just across the road from the Langham there. So big bucks. So 4 properties in 2 years, now working in the industry. I mean, for those of you listening at home, whether you're a client, whether you're a random, whether you're family, friends, this is living, breathing proof. Okay, everyday incomes, hardworking young couple, put their mind to it. Now, I want to jump away from the financial stuff for a second over to 60 Strong.
Yeah.
That's what we started this for. And then somehow we've gone from, hey, you won one of the 60 Strong winners to, hey, he works here. I'm like, oh, I thought we were doing a podcast. No, he works here now. G'day, mate. Hello, teammate. So can you give us a little bit of insight? So, and this is what's really important. We'll pop the photos up again quickly here, Maddie, but there's not this phenomenal amount of weight. Like 5 kilos is a lot, right? If you're 83, you're 78. But the metamorphosis, the change of what you look like in this photo is astronomical, right?
Yeah. Thanks, Grant.
So give my mate, you should be very proud. So give us a bit of insight. What did your routine look like every day? I'm having a look at it here, and it's pretty intense. You're up early. You're very structured. So going back a sec, were you this structured all the time, or is this something you know what? I'm going to have a red hot crack at this.
I was never really structured like that.
Okay.
Ever until I actually started doing the app.
Yep.
So I'll give a brief rundown of 5 a.m. mornings. So I wake up 5 a.m. every morning, beat the sun up. 500 mils of water. So I'd always get the 500 mils of water in straight away because you're dehydrated overnight. Because I was doing some pretty intense fasting
training
as well.
Fasting
as well. So then I'd do a bit of fasting cardio. So just have 500 mils of water and then go for a walk, just a light walk. So
basically you were getting up, getting a bit of fluid into the system, get moving.
Yeah, get limbo.
And then you were exercising and burning calories before you'd consumed anything.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. So calories, before I've even.
Okay.
Yep.
Perfect.
So then one of the other components of 60 Strong is to do half an hour of personal development, reading. So then I'd read my favorite book, read favorite quotes.
Okay.
Do everything
Any tips for any of the young players out there going, yeah, what's a good book or a good podcast besides The Money Mentor? Any good podcasts or books or anything? Was there anything that you really read and enjoyed and went, that book was a game changer for me?
How to Pay Your Mortgage Off in 7 years without being a hermit.
Yeah, we got one. We got one. There's a bit of shameless self-promotion and plugs going on here, but yeah.
A lot of Tony Robbins' content's really good as well. I've always been a fan of Tony.
Yep.
Because that's how I found you guys, was through Tony Robbins as well, doing UPW.
Yep.
So a lot of his content.
There's no negativity there, mate. It's all positive.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So you're doing your books, Tony Robbins podcasts, reading stuff. Okay, then what?
So yeah, write down my goals. So set intentions for the day was a big one. I had to really pen to paper, I am the 60 strong winner.
Right.
Every day.
So you set out from the beginning I'm winning.
I am the 60 strong winner at the top of the list every day, every morning.
Okay.
I wrote that down. So that happened.
Okay.
And then really just kind of getting leverage on myself, financial goals, weight goals.
And was that a new thing for you to go, right, I'm actually going to sit down and journal this? You picked that up from Tony or?
I picked that up from you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was kind of new for me as well. That was stepping out of my comfort zone, really journaling goals.
Yeah, it's weird, right? What if somebody reads it? Like, shit. My wife could read that. I mean, we only share bills and bodily fluids and,
I've got a vision board as well that I'm kind of hiding around the house and stuff.
Okay.
Got out of debt strategy and stuff where I'm kind of
it's like my first out of debt strategy. I used to have it on the back of the toilet door, on the fridge. We'd have people over for a barbecue and Beck and I running around and pulling off all our out of debt strategies. People will think we're a weirdo, right? But I had to look at it every single day.
I'm the same.
It helps.
As soon as I get out of bed in the morning, plant me 2 feet on the ground, I see this vision board of where we want to go, what we want to do, what we want to achieve. And I see it every day, and a constant reminder of the debt reduction, of the health, of everything.
Good.
So then, another 500 mils of water. So there's a litre of water after I've done my podcast, reading, Feed the Mind with Positivity.
Now, just on the water, the reason for the water being broken up, right? We just want to share with 60 Strong. Obviously, there's a set of these activities and actions we need to do every day.
Yeah.
So for those who haven't joined in, you just want to give them a little bit of insight into that?
Yeah, so 3 litres of water. That's one of the tasks to tick off the list for the 60 Strong. Component is to really. So
you decided to break that down and go, right, well, if I have some when I get up straight away, I'm a bit dehydrated, then I have some here, and you just sort of spaced it out,
throughout the day,
Okay.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're running to and from the toilet constantly.
Peeing like a pregnant woman.
Yeah. Okay.
So, a litre of water before I've even left the house.
Okay.
After I've done my walking. Sometimes I do a bit of a rebound on the trampoline as well.
Okay.
Out in the sun, so that was always good.
Yep.
And then celery juice. Do you drink celery juice?
I don't, but I've heard good things about
celery juice, man.
Does it taste like shit?
No, it's great. It's really good.
I think you're
Fresh
lying.
Celery juice. No, as long as it's not in the fridge for over a week, you're right. So
I'll give it a hit. A hit since we're 60 strong and 75
It's about 500 mils of celery juice as well. That was my pre-workout.
Pre-workout?
Yeah, that was my pre-workout. That was better than any black coffee, any stimulant, any
You've got me. I'm trying celery juice in the morning. Okay. I'll give you my feedback next week, guys. Yep.
And then I would have 4 eggs, avocado, mushrooms, some low-carb bread, bit of cauliflower, broccoli. So kind of like what normal people would eat for a dinner. I was having that
for a breakfast.
Pre-workout breakfast.
Right.
And then I would have a mineral boost.
Yep.
So then some creatine, some VPA supplements. I've always used VPA supplements as well. It's not an endorsement or anything.
Yep.
We don't own any part of that company.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Well, people want to know, right? So whatever it is that it worked for you, they can see the pictures here. And
so then 6:30 a.m. I'm in the gym.
Okay.
Right? So the component of 60 strong is an hour workout. So I would do at least an hour workout. So there's another hour workout there with BCAAs.
Yep.
And then while I'm in the gym, I'm listening to a podcast as well. I've got the AirPods in, listening to a podcast.
So you're getting in extra personal development, extra growth. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'd do a sauna as well.
Okay.
So sauna was another thing that I'd probably do about 2 to 3 times a week.
Okay.
So that was great. Sauna was really good. Highly recommend doing the sauna as well.
Yep.
And then come home, protein shake, bit of greens powder, and then that would really sort of get me going for the day. Maybe an acai bowl.
Okay.
and then that would be it. Go to work.
I love a bit of oakberry. Oh,
yeah.
Love a bit of oakberry with peanut butter in it. It's probably not that great, but love it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then work at, say, 9 a.m?
Yeah. And then lunch was optional. I would, from about 30 days onwards, I would just do an optional lunch. I would go all the way until my big breakfast, like my 4 eggs, avocado, mushroom.
So you're smashing that big. So you started out working on an empty stomach, so to speak, in the morning, a bit of fluid, celery juice, whatever, black coffee.
Yeah.
Then you get at least a walk, get up and functioning and thinking.
Yeah.
Then your personal development, and then you're hitting the gym, another podcast, and then you're having a big brekkie.
Big brekkie.
Okay.
Big brekkie was a key thing for me,
then,
I think.
So was lunch sometimes like just a shake?
Sometimes it'd just be a shake if I was feeling like I needed a bit extra.
Yep.
Maybe a shake or a protein bar.
Okay.
Something like that.
And then dinner?
No dinner.
No dinner.
In the first 30 days, it was healthy dinner. It was obviously it was maybe some chicken and rice or salmon or steak or something. But after the 30 days, I am the 60 strong winner. Remember, I'm writing it down. So I had to do something different.
Wow.
So for the last 30 days, I was staying in ketosis pretty much for the whole time. I was in ketosis. So that really, because I didn't have the vasculinity, I guess, the veins and all that weren't showing in the first 30 days. So then the ketosis really leaned. I lost the weight, but the vasculinity wasn't really.
Okay. So you were keen to you were winning at all costs.
I was winning.
A little bit competitive, maybe.
A little bit.
We'll ask Aaron a little bit. Right. Okay.
That's who I am.
Okay.
Very competitive.
So very competitive. And then were you exercising overnight?
Yes, I would just kind of do a little bit of a light walk. Sometimes if I didn't feel like I was hitting my PBs in the gym in the mornings, if I wasn't doing my inclines as heavy as I should have been or lifting as heavy as I should have been, I'd go back again and try again.
Okay. So you're doing the one, sometimes you try to get a second session in. When you finished 60 strong, did you continue some of these habits and traits or did you have a break?
No, I went for it.
Okay.
I went for it so when did 60 strong finish? September? So I went for about a good month after that.
Okay.
And then just before the REM, just before we bought Broadbeach, we had a cruise.
So
then it kind of went a
pear-shaped and into Chrissy and
then it kind of went into Christmas. And yeah.
But how do you feel now?
Great.
How did you feel at the end of that? Well, you did 90 days by the sounds, but how did you feel at the end of that 60 days?
Oh, I can't describe it. It was just so empowering, It was just
I bet Aaron loved it.
Yeah. Well,
you got a bubbed you any day, right?
We do. So that's very true as well.
That was pre-60 strong.
Pre-60
we can't
strong.
claim that.
Yeah. But I was kind of giving up a little bit of time at home with Aaron.
Okay.
The household stuff kind of, gave up mowing the lawn.
Okay. Yeah.
Packing the dishwasher.
And look at that.
The chores.
And guys, that's a fair point Glen's making, that
you had to
something's got to give,
something
right?
had to give. For me to get to the next place, I had to give something up. Okay. I had to give up a little bit of time at home with Aaron because I was spending more time in the gym.
Yep.
I was spending a bit more time on myself.
And how does Aaron cope with that?
She's on my side no matter what. She's supporting me driving an hour and a half to work now. So
each way. Damn. Gentlemen, ladies, take note.
Yeah, Erin's the heart and soul of the household. She keeps me very
well done. So
very supportive.
The reason I just jumped into that for everyone listening at home is I meet people unlike you and Erin that, they have kids and babies, and I joke and say share bodily fluids and bills and this and that, but they want to keep their fucking finances separate.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you guys mentally disturbed? Like, you're a fucking team. You produce children, you bought a home together, investments, you got jobs, you do chores. Yeah. And yet then when it comes to basic things like your health or your finances, they want to separate them, or they don't want their partner to be at the gym. And it's like, doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense.
No.
Are you on the same page or not?
Yeah. Like, a different book.
You got to do it together, guys. You got to get on the same page. And
so where to from here? You're obviously one of the winners, so you get some prize money, you get a trip away. That's all great. We've got Bub on the way, new career. So talk to us a little bit about that for those listening at home, because I get hit up, but you can't imagine how many times people say I want to work for the Infinity family. And typically the answer is no, 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 no.
Yep.
The process now through recruiters and this and that is an absolute nightmare to get through towards the end of it, because typically we used to only hire experience. Then we went through a period of saying, no, I don't want salespeople or industry people. I want to train people the right way, not the bad mistakes. Now it's a blend of the two. How did that come about? Was that something you're writing down, I'm 60 strong winner every day? Was it like, I'm going to work with Beck and G? Or what was going on there?
Yeah, it was, I'm working at Infinity.
Okay.
As well. That was on the vision board prior to 60 strong. That was in the making, I think, for a long time. I didn't know it was going to happen this fast.
Okay.
That was a really...
Why the drive to want to do this as a career now? Is it money? Is it growth? What is it?
I'm extremely passionate.
Okay.
I'm extremely passionate. I am like obsessed with what you're teaching people. They're out of
4 properties in 2 years.
Mate, before Infinity, at 23 years old, I had no idea that I would be Albany Creek, Pimpamar, ACT, Broady, 60 strong winner. You know,
if you didn't do the masterclass 2 years ago, we wouldn't be here today.
We wouldn't be here today.
And neither would all of those properties, and the debt would be much higher.
The health wouldn't be here. The debt, okay.
So I've got a question for you. Friends and family, when you went on the journey, not everyone's supportive and believes this sort of shit's possible. Not everyone believes you can get fit and healthy. Not everyone believes you can make time for it and sacrifice. Not everyone believes you can get healthy and wealthy.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that. Did you lose some friends? A lot of people lose friends or family.
Not really critics, but it's definitely something that's out of the norm for my family.
Okay.
So I'm the youngest of 4 boys.
Okay.
I got 3 older brothers. Supportive, but, legends
hesitant
in their own lunchbox.
Okay, yeah.
Sort of FIFO workers and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to bag them, but
no.
They've been supportive, but definitely something that was out of the norm in regards to my family upbringing. Growing up quite poor as well, really wants you to really change your family tree, I guess. You want to be...
I call it creating generational wealth. I want to be the person that creates such change that leaves a legacy for 3, 4, 5 generations.
Yeah.
I love that. I
kind of fell in love with that about you as well, Graham.
Okay.
That was... Yeah.
So not everyone supports you, right? Some people are your biggest critic. Some people are your biggest supporter. Aaron's obviously your biggest supporter and vice versa, her. Yeah. Did you find it tough with friends and some family? You don't name names, but did you find it into some people like, it's too good to be true, or why are you doing this, or why are you doing a stupid program? Have a beer.
Yeah, well, I did actually. Yeah. I got a lot of resistance to do it. It's kind of like, you're changing. You're changing.
Okay.
I'm like, I've seen it as a good problem, because I want to change. I want to get out of that environment and create a new environment and have a better life, because I know that there's a better life out there.
Okay.
You just got to.
So what would be we'll go through a couple, what would be some tips for people on the health and fitness side as one of the 60 strong? And by the way, guys are listening to this, most of us are running 60 strong or 75 hard. I don't know if you're driving 3 hours a day plus work. You're probably not right now.
Not right now.
I can tell everyone I'm into week 1 of 75 hard, and Beck bought a body scanner. We're that into it this year. I intend to do the Live Hard program this year.
Okay.
So I'm going up to my 40th birthday. I'm finishing 75 hard the day before my 40th birthday in April. That'll be a big weekend.
That's good.
And then I'm going to get straight back on the horse for 30 days for phase 1 of Live Hard.
Yep.
And I usually run 60 hard at the same time. So for some reason, I missed a second workout and I failed 75 hard. I'm still going on 60 strong.
Okay.
So that's one of my tips for people, because 75 hard is fucking hard.
Persistence beats resistance.
Bingo. That's why Beck finally said yes to a date after 6 months, if you're listening, hun. But
6 months.
Yeah, 6 months of asking her out, and she kept saying no. And eventually I think she just pitied me. So it was kind of like a pity date. And
I'm glad I didn't have to come to that to get a career here.
Yeah, well, it took 2 years. But, so the health and fitness side of things, what are some tips for people you would give? Like, you used words like, and I'm a finance guy, not a fitness guy, but I care about people. So you use words like ketosis and calories, and maybe mum and dad sitting on the couch at 40, 50 years, I'll go, what the fuck's that? Like, what tips would you give to people to just, if you've never exercised in 20 years, they're not a young bloke like yourself. They're 40 and over the hill and chubby like I was. What would you say to them? Like, how would you keep it simple? Obviously, you had a lot of structure. You were right. Like, what are some tips you'd give them?
The first thing you do is really just set an intention of what you want to achieve over the 60 days. So set an intention. Then you can have a holistic approach to it. So for you, it was just to
win, right?
It was to win, yeah, right?
But for some people, it might be...
I was in it to win it, but not everyone's
for some people, it might be, I'm just going to walk for 60 minutes every day. I haven't done anything for 20 years. So I like that, set the intention. That's really important.
Set an intention.
So from setting the intention, well, really, you can work backwards from there, right?
Yeah, and then just implement it and work your way back from there.
I love it. I love it. So that's the health side. So set an intention.
A lot of meal prepping. So be organised as well. Kind of, I know everyone's got shit going on, but...
Well, you work at 9 o'clock back then in your old job, but you were getting up at 5.
Yeah.
You didn't always, I'm assuming you didn't always get up at 5.
No, I didn't have to. Yeah.
Which I'm doing now. I'm getting up at 5, doing a minute on, minute off, walk, run.
Yeah.
Then I get in the car after that 45-minute outdoor session, drive to the gym and do 45 minutes PT, which doesn't count as my second session.
Yeah, okay.
Then I do a 6:30 p.m. PT session that night. I'm doing 3 sessions a day at the moment. So I am exhausted.
That's commitment.
Well, it's my 40th birthday in April. I don't want to be fat in 40. I want to be fit in 40. You know what I mean? I want to cut the chubby jokes out on stage.
You want to be in your prime.
I want to be buff, not puff.
Why eat kebabs when you can have abs?
Correct. Although kebabs are good. Don't endorse kebabs. But okay, so set your intentions, be structured, meal prepping, which helps with budgeting and also time, right? Like if you're not meal prepping, it's hard to be organised and get family time and shit. What are we going to eat tonight?
Accountability. I haven't even said accountability. What did I say from the beginning? Sage and Malia holding me accountable for my spending. Yeah. Be accountable for you. Have someone waiting on you at the gym. Have a PT. Have someone that's counting on you.
Or a mate even if you can't afford a PT.
That's going to push you along.
Or be in the group, be in the 60 strong or be in the 70.
Be a part of the group.
There's a community there for free, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So accountability, intention and structure.
Yep. I'd say those are the 3 things.
Yeah, well, you're not going to win an Olympic medal if you don't have a plan, a program, a structure, you don't train.
Yeah.
So guys, community, support. So you're really hearing some things that you probably all already know, but we're just too fucking lazy to do, right? Does it. At some point, but you're going to wake up one day and go, there's a saying that a really good friend of mine told me, who's a lawyer, said, something has to change or something will change.
Okay.
And I love that saying, right? Because it's like one day in our lives, something has to change or it will change. Now, the point of that, guys, if you're listening, is if you don't be the change, something will change that you can't control. Yeah. You decided to get out of bed one day and go, I'm setting this intention, and you did it. You won, one of the winners, and you set that intention and you did it. Now, you could have kept just going, go to the pub for a couple of beers, do this, do that. But you set the intention and you were the change that you wanted to occur. And now it's part of who you are.
Yeah. It's in my identity now.
Well done.
With a couple of beers isn't really, I haven't really been to the part, sort of drinking's been out of the equation. I was a heavy drinker too, mind you.
Okay, so heavy drinker.
Yeah, like over the top drinking.
So big part of the
kind
budget.
of in the brown culture. Okay. It's kind of my, sort of was my identity.
Look, most Aussie households, if you knock off work, hard days work, mow the lawn, you grab a beer or a vino.
Massive in the rugby league culture too.
True. Okay.
Yeah.
So for those people just on that point that are going, I can't go 60 or 75 days without a drop of alcohol.
You can. It's just, it's get in your head, you're dead. Get out of your head. You can do it. I thought the same thing.
But I've got a barbecue coming up or a birthday coming up or.
I had some 30th birthdays in between the 60 days as well. I was having a kombucha. So kombucha is another thing to go away from the alcohol.
Okay.
Kombucha, if you're into that, or just replace it with something else. Replace it with a good habit.
There's some really good non-alcoholic. I mean, look, I don't condone saying, oh, well, I'm not going to drink beer, so I'm going to drink non-alcoholic beer. I think take away the habit. But if you need it and you're at a party and you want to look the part, there's some amazing non-alcoholic
there's a big
alcohol,
range
so to speak. Yeah.
1-drop IPAs and there's
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
0 alcohol.
Now, so health and fitness, we've got the goals there. So financially, you've been on the journey for a couple of years. You're now turning it into a career, and we're going to help train and mold and develop you in the Infinity family. And you're going to obviously be able to instill your practical application. You're not just saying, oh, G said to do this. You're like, well, G told us to, and we did this, and Malia said this, and Sage said that. You've actually walked the walk, so you've earned the stripes and the badge to talk the talk.
Yeah, okay.
So you're going to be able to articulate that to other people. But what do you think some of the tips are there? You talked about budgeting, meal planning. Does there need to be some clear goals, some intentions? What do you think you give financial tips for people that are just meeting you now?
Some financial tips: seek professional advice. Is the first thing. You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I always say to people, if not me, somebody. I don't mind. I'm doing okay, but somebody. Yeah. If you listen to this podcast, you go, yeah, I don't like him. Fuck, but Glen sounds all right, but I'm going to go talk to Bob, the broker above the kebab shop. Kebabs over abs. Cool. Go talk to Bob, but somebody, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. And do you think that ties back into the accountability thing, like finance, health, wealth? Like, if you've got someone that's an expert or someone to hold you to an account, it makes it easier. I found someone
that has everything that I want in life.
That's Aaron.
That's you.
Oh, whoa. Buy me a drink first. Except when I drink. Jeez. Sorry, Aaron.
But I found someone that has everything that I want that I can just replicate it.
Okay.
You know, I found,
Tony says, Big Tone says that all the time. Tony says success leaves clues, right? So if you do want to achieve, doesn't have to, if not me, somebody, you guys, but whether it's health or wealth, I mean, we brought the health thing in because I've struggled with my health. Big accident, work 15, 16-hour days, very committed to my passion. So I go through phases where I neglect myself. Yeah. So hence 75 hard. I did it with no arm pretty much, couldn't use my arm, 60 strong. So I guess for us, we want to develop a community where people are healthy, wealthy, and wise. So I think what Glen's saying there, guys, is, find successful people and replicate what they're doing. The clues are there. You don't.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I mean, you're learning it. Obviously, you've learned it. You've applied it. You can now teach it.
Yeah.
Whereas some people, you don't even have to learn it. No. You can just copy it.
Yeah, that's right.
To a certain extent.
That's right. The information's there as well. The resources are there. The education's all there for everyone. It's all accessible now.
Well, there you go, boys and girls. Well, mate, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Look forward to seeing your journey and growth. We might have to get you back in 3 or 6 months to share how it's going and go, fuck, it's chaos in here. He's cracking the whip. I don't know what I've done here. And to everyone tuning in at home, you'll probably see Aaron and Glen on socials, but give them a bit of a thumbs up and a well done and congratulations, because financially they've fucking crushed it and health-wise crushed it. And Bub in the next week or two, so congratulations.
You're going to crush 75 hard too.
Mate, absolutely. I will have the best set of abs I've probably ever had. I promise you. Best set of abs, probably the first time I've seen my abs in 20 of my 40 years, but there'll be abs, not flabs.
Oh, that's great.
Pleasure, mate. Look forward to seeing you again soon. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, G.
Thanks, guys.